Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Cancer in mid-April 2021. What is going on, Cancers? How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing well. Cancer, wherever you are in the world right now, I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, all right? Cancer, no other announcements, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Actually, no, quickly, before we do the whole spiel. Just a quick apology for the lateness of these videos, guys. Your girl started a new job last week, so it's a little bit of a tailspin I was in. Normally I would have recorded closer to the 15th and uploaded closer to the 15th, so this is 4 days late about. Anyway, so just, you know, had to spend some time recuperating with my brain. So apologies for that. But anyway, let's do the regular spiel. Anything you want from me, Cancer, it's in the description box already. Timestamp is down there. Info on how to purchase a personal reading with me is down there. And the link to my Instagram is down there if you want to follow me over there, okay? Let's see what your messages are for mid-April. Let's get into it. Messages for Cancer in mid-April 2021. No, okay. Messages for Cancer mid-April 2021. No. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Let's start off with 3 for you guys. See? Is that... Okay, 4. We'll take a 4. Alright, so first card out was the Emperor, Page of Cups, and together, 8 of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Emperor, major arcana for Aries, Chariot, that's your major arcana, Cancer. Any sign I mentioned that's not your own, just take it with a grain of salt. You could be dealing with them. You don't have to be. But let's see what's going on. So for some, I feel like you've made a considerable decision, or if someone has, you know, I'm going to address it as you. This is your reading, Cancer. It can go vice versa. But I feel there's like a growing up here, and either you or someone else is a little in disagreement with the decision. I feel the growing up, Page of Cups energy, water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, could be dealing, don't have to be. But I feel there's somebody who's like working hard to kind of show their worth. 8 of Pentacles, possibly has made a definitive decision with the Chariot, to go left, to go right, to say yes, to say no, whatever. And there could be someone who's, again, a disagreeable figure. The Emperor isn't always disagreeable, but in this energy and this positioning where, you know, very traditional, the Emperor is seen to be seated on the throne and kind of in a, you know, what have you brought me kind of mode or posture, yes? And there's a bit of a judgment call, or excuse me, not judgment call, but a judgment happening here. So it could be you've decided to take on a project. 8 of Pentacles can be about working towards something, putting our energy, effort, possibly material in terms of money and other types of material resources into it. And so you could have a friend, a family member, could be yourself. You could be, you know, criticizing yourself. But there is sort of like this suspicious eye overlooking everything that's going on over here between the Page of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, and the Chariot energy. So if you decided to move somewhere, because Chariot can talk about physical movement, change jobs, change location, change relationships, change your Facebook status, I don't know. Somebody on the outside, or again, it could be you who is a little like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Now, whether or not you care, don't know. I don't know what the relationship is with the Emperor and all these other energies here, but it feels very observational. I can tell you that. It feels like a person who possibly doesn't even have a dog in this fight, possibly has no benefit or even adverse outcome, depending on what's happening over here. Again, very observational, just very like looking from a distance and saying, I think that's a bad idea, or I think it's a good idea. It can go either way. It can be someone who's for or against what's happening over here, but for the most part, it feels like someone who's critical. At the very least, they are critical, even if they're indifferent, even if they don't give any indication that they disagree, they would still there's a lot, scrutiny is also coming through. So somebody who, again, might have a lot of opinions one way or the other, even if they don't have final say in the matter. So if this is about moving from here to there, okay, because also if you notice in the top portion of the Page of Cups, there's like a jet plane up there, some kind of aircraft, right? So there's a lot of indication of movement, quick movement perhaps with the jet, but also it's more importantly decisive, like being no longer being caught between two things. With the Chariot, some type of resolution has come through on a personal side, from a personal standpoint, I should say, with the Eight of Pentacles next to that. How you choose to invest your time, your energy, your effort, whom you choose to invest it with, when, how long, how much, all of those things have been decided. For some of you, it could be even you've accepted admission into a college or some type of program. It might be a study abroad. And okay, yeah, in the current time, in the current when I'm recording this, April 2021, okay, it's still, the pandemic that started last year is still, kind of a problem in some areas, or at least an area of concern. So if you're planning to travel, Cancer, or someone in your life is planning to travel, there could be some concern over, well, where are you going? What are the protocols in place in terms of coronavirus? What are the safety measures? Things like that. And that could be coming from, Emperor can be father figure. So for some of you, it's your dad or some older gentleman or a man who has some type of authority in your life. So it could be a boss, maybe you volunteered to travel somewhere for a project, but your boss, maybe you and he are very close. Maybe you guys are good friends, and this person is just like, I don't know, Cancer, I think it's kind of risky what you're doing. So let's get a little bit more information here. What else is going on in this situation for Cancer? Show me more. Fool, Eight of Swords. So many of, Hermit. Hermit, major arcana for Virgo. You could be dealing, but you don't have to be. So many of you, this is a reset, and Fool is secondary major for Aquarius. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, but you don't have to be. And it's so funny, I just did their reading before yours, and this is a similar message. It's a little different than theirs because theirs was a little bit like breath of fresh air, and yours feels a little bit more advancement. It's like the natural progression of things, it feels like, or taking on an opportunity, taking on coursework or something like that to learn something, to make yourself more educated, more experienced, something like that. And theirs was a little clean slate energy, but if you want to cross watch, feel free to do so. Anyway, so Fool, Eight of Swords, and Hermit. For some of you, you've thought long and hard about this Hermit energy, right? You've reflected on it. You've done your due diligence. You've done your homework. You know the risks that are involved. You know what you have to kind of prepare yourself for wherever you're going, whatever you're choosing to do. And that is kind of, I don't want to say that is what's liberating, but I feel this is kind of what you can expect. This energy here between the Fool and the Eight of Swords, Cancer. I feel what you can expect is this sense of freedom, is this sense of being untied from something, untethered from something with the Eight of Swords, yeah? Normally with Eight of Swords, we get this idea in our head, or we're conditioned because of the circumstance that we're in or the people that we're around. We just get this idea of, oh, we're stuck and there's no solution here, and there's no way for me to ever do what I really want to do or say what I really want to say. Fool and Hermit on either side of this, both being major arcana, I feel as though after some soul searching, and again, even just research into the risks and anything that might be worrisome on your end or someone else's end, having done the homework kind of allows you to kind of throw caution to the wind just a little bit, not entirely, but throw caution a little bit to the wind and kind of, to yourself or to other people in the situation, say, to hell with the risks, to hell with what I'm out here, what I might encounter down the line. I'll never know unless I try, is kind of what this is. I'll never know unless I try. And so I feel for, and it's also kind of partnering up with this Page of Cups energy, because pages not only represent children often in tarot, but in general represent immature energy or novice energy. So it's coming across that you or someone in the situation here, Cancer, carries this, I've never done this before. Let me try. Let me see what it's like if I were to do XYZ. Let me see what it's like if I were to explore ABC. What's it going to feel like when I get involved with him, her, or the other? Whatever. There's like this curiosity in here, especially with the Fool and Page energy kind of talking to each other right now. It's like not being scared of the adventure, or excuse me, being enthralled and intrigued by the adventure, but also not being daunted or scared because of any potential pitfalls or, again, any adverse circumstances. The Emperor, you might not even know the person. You might be, starting a vlog or starting some kind of, documentary series that you're putting online, and this could just be someone who's like watching your social media and like watching your stories online. And it's just like, that person's being foolish. That person's being crazy. You might not even know this person. Emperor is, or can signal somebody who's like really high up on the totem pole, so to speak. And your relationship to them might not be very intimate. You might not know them. They could be a complete stranger, All right, so let's get a bit of advice, and then we're going to wrap up your reading. So what's the advice here for Cancer? Please show me. In this situation, what is the advice for Cancer? What do they need to know? 2 cards of advice. Aren't you lucky? All right, so High Priestess and 2 of Swords. Interesting. So High Priestess, that's your secondary major, also sometimes associated with Pisces. So a lot of water energy here, and then the 2 of Swords. So I'm getting the sense, Cancer, to get out of your head and get into your feelings, get into your intuition, get into that, sixth sense about things, Don't let it rule the situation, The High Priestess is an energy that knows a lot, if not knows everything, but certainly remains bridled, certainly remains contained. It's not information let loose. It's not intuitive understanding, broadcast for everyone to know, for everyone to see and hear and understand. So whatever your intuitive nudges are, with the 2 of Swords right next to it, you might not share that with anyone else. So someone might say to you, hey, Cancer, why do you think this is going to work out? Or, well, you can't be sure, and here are all the things that have gone wrong for other people who have tried to do what you're doing or go where you're going, and, XYZ. And you just know. You have a certain quiet confidence, some of you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if none of that makes sense to you, that's all right. But I think everybody has their own way of interacting with their intuition, even if you're subconscious of it. So even if you can't say, well, I consulted my guides, or I talked to Archangel Michael, or I went to my clairvoyant friend, or I read cards for myself, even if you're not in this world like that, you could simply say, I don't know, there's just something about it. I feel confident. I feel assured. Yes. 2 of Swords also can be about inflexibility and not making choices, right? And to subvert that, any type of caution or trepidation you might have with the 2 of Swords. Some of you are possibly overcoming your own personal fears. If this was, let's say this was a dating situation, because the Page of Cups is here, and the Page of Cups can indicate some type of, romantic intrigue, yes? So for some of you, maybe, you've never dated seriously, or it's been a long time since you've dated. Your 2 of Swords could be coming in, and you might be falling into old patterns of like self-criticism, which I mentioned before with the Emperor being here. Some of you, if you're coming back from a long break, you might be in the position of the Emperor. The Emperor, again, it doesn't have to be male, but it usually is a very senior person or an older, wiser person. So if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're thinking of going back out there, Two of Swords would naturally come along and say, you know what, just hang it up. You know, we've been out of the game for 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. There's no sense in going back. You know, there's no sense in even risking everything that we've built for ourselves just for the sake of companionship. I think your high priestess is saying, no, that's a bunch of noise. This Two of Swords is a bunch of noise. Have confidence, have faith, trust yourself, trust your guides, trust your link to a divine purpose, or excuse me, to a divine being, a divine power, whatever you believe that is, right? And go for the gusto. That's what this feels like, okay? Cancer, that is your reading for mid-April. If you like this reading, leave a like below. Let me know how it resonated in your life. If you want to leave a comment, that'd be great. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so before. Make sure you hit all notifications so you can see when I upload, as well as when I go live on the channel. And if you guys want to get at me for a personal, again, information is down in the description box. Feel free to reach out at any time, okay? Cancer, I'll be back soon with your May readings. Until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.